Chapter 30. I was at the time spending 5 days a week impersonating a secretary at the law firm of Cohen, Nelson, Bieberman, and Schwartz. Yeah, I know. Pretty ballsy of me going on about actresses posing as waitresses, where here I was, a pop vocalist to be reckoned with, impersonating a secretary. I never claimed to be fair. Cohen, Nelson, Bieberman, and Schwartz was four partners in one, not so incidentally female associate, subleasing half the 17th floor of a savings and loan building in Century City, down in the depths on the 17th floor. I lived for the day when I could bid the law firm of Cohen, Nelson, Bieberman, and Schwartz farewell forever, but at that point my nightclub earnings were barely enough to keep me in Afro Sheen. LA's an expensive town, and a boy's gotta eat. I shared secretarial chores for Cohen Nelson's five lawyers with Sylvia Scott, a 30-ish artificially red-headed party animal in tight-fitting skirt and jacket ensembles and life-threatening spike heel shoes. Sylvia had the face of a girl who, in another place and time, could have been cast as a second-lead comic relief in Betty Grable movies, and a slight speech peculiarity which made her semblances amusingly similar to those of Abigail, dear Abby Van Buren, or your Aunt Rose a half hour or so after midnight on New Year's Eve. I couldn't help smiling every time I overheard Sylvia pick up her phone line and say, "Sylvia Scott speaking." Sylvia was also the proud owner of a bosom that would give Jane Russell pause, and a smile as bright as a movie premiere at Grauman's Chinese, and in my opinion, more than her fair share of boyfriends. Hardly a day went by that did not see a sizable FTD delivery for Sylvia Scott. Her office looked like a funeral parlor. Sylvia was just easing a dozen long-stem sterling silver rosebuds into a vase as I arrived, smiling a smile you couldn't have slapped off my face. On Sylvia's desk, all 9 of her telephone lines were blinking. "Howdy, stranger," she said. "Glad you could make it." "Hi, beautiful. Sorry I'm late." I kissed Syl on the cheek. She was an okay gal, and I found it more trouble than it was worth to attempt to dislike her, despite her remarkable knack for dodging, ignoring, and generally avoiding work. She never seemed to be busy, and yet her desktop was always immaculate. You could eat off her typewriter. While my desk had the perennial appearance of a small war-torn country. "Only 1 dozen," I said, sniffing a lavender bud. "You're slipping." Sylvia cocked her head to one side, handed me a rosebud in her patented woman's intuition look. "Well, you look like you've had some weekend." "What do you mean?" I tried to stop grinning, but nothing doing. "Honey, the last time I saw somebody glowing like that, she was pregnant. Now what's up?" She dropped her voice to sotto voce. "It's a man, isn't it?" "I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about." I beat a hasty retreat to my office lest I burst into a shower of girly giggles. "Liar, liar, pants on fire," Sylvia called. I had scarcely landed in my chair and begun answering some of the telephone lines Sylvia had chosen to neglect, and marveling at how my in-basket had magically given birth to a 5-inch stack of paper over the weekend, before Bernie Bieberman burst through my door. Bernie was my least favorite of the Cohen-Nelson partners, a short, balding, hyperkinetic, transplanted New Yorker, with dexedrine for blood and a manner as abrasive as Old Dutch cleanser. "Johnny Ray, I need this right away. It's a AAA priority," he said, thrusting a handful of yellow legal pages into my face. "Good morning, Bernie," I said, contemplating murder. This was, as I've mentioned, the summer of '79. It was earlier that year, January, I think, when a young San Diego girl named Brenda Spencer made national headlines by opening gunfire on her high school, killing 2 people and wounding others. When asked why she did it, Brenda was quoted as saying, "I don't like Mondays."